Like weird time for me to come on, but Thursday is a really busy day for working with clients. And today I had a bunch of clients who had some exciting new wins in their journey towards improving their health. And so I wanted to talk with you a little bit about when your health or when you're working on your health, a lot of the times I know this happened for myself in the past as well. We can have the expectation that things are going to change really quickly, especially if early on there's a win or you notice improvement, and then things seem to kind of slow down for a little while. But ultimately, like Shrek said in the movie Shrek, onions have layers and ogres have layers. So does our healing journey. And there's going to be times where things are happening in your body, things are improving and getting better, but you can't physically feel a difference necessarily. You might wake up tomorrow and your liver is amazing. It's doing so much better than it was the day before. But physically, will you feel a change? Probably not. I mean, maybe, but not necessarily. And it's just a reminder that as long as you're moving towards better health, as long as you're doing things like making sure that you're eating healthy, making sure that you're drinking lots of water, if you're working with a practitioner, making sure that you're going to your appointments every week or you're sending your food diary, you're taking your supplements, as long as you're doing things to work towards improving your health, even if it feels like you're not making any progress, ultimately you are. And so there were 3 clients that I spoke with today who all had big wins, which was exciting, and they were all at different stages in their health journey. And so that just can show you that it's not necessarily a set time or a set number of weeks that you're going to see big changes, but just understand that you are getting better if you're focusing on and prioritizing your health. It's just not all going to reveal itself. It's like when you plant a seed in the garden, ultimately, a lot of the growth happens underground. And the same can be said about your health. When the seed actually pokes out from the soil, then we know that something has happened, something has been changing, but that can take weeks or months for that to actually produce itself. And it's not that nothing was happening, it's just that you couldn't necessarily see it yet. So the patience has to be there. So I had one client today who's I've been working with her for 3 months, about 3 months, a little over 3 months, and we've been working on improving her energy, improving her sleep, and one of her goals was to lose some weight. And this was something that was a frustration for quite a while, even before we were on this journey that we're on right now, in that the weight just wouldn't seem to budge. And so we had to focus and shift the focus and start focusing on health. What's going on in your body that's stopping you from being able to get the goal or the result that you want? Because if your body's not letting go of the weight, there's a reason. There's a reason that it's holding on to it. It's doing it to protect you, most likely. So we need to figure out, is it chemicals? Is it heavy metals? Is it toxins? Is it stress? Stress is a really big one, especially for women, especially if you're after the age of 40. This can have a huge impact on your ability to move the weight and on your ability to get rid of any of the symptoms that you're dealing with. So, like I said, it's been over 3 months that we've been working together. The weight started to move a couple of weeks ago. Finally, the numbers going down on the scale. And now sleep is starting to improve even more, which is really exciting to see. And ultimately, these are showing us signs that something that we've been working on in the body is making progress. We were working on some adrenal support, and that's starting to resolve itself. When the adrenals start to come back online and start to function the way that they're supposed to, then the symptoms will start to go away. So then the weight does start to come off. Then the sleep can improve. Then there's less brain fog. That's another one that's common for women after the age of 40. So these are really exciting things to see, but ultimately, there are weeks where it's going to feel like you're not making any progress and it feels like you're not moving forward. And then all of a sudden, the results show up. But if you gave up and you stopped because it felt like nothing was moving forward, then you'll never actually get to the point where the things actually do start to change. So, the seed underground is a really good example that I hope makes sense to people and resonates in the sense that, you plant something in the garden and you just expect that it's going to grow. And as long as you don't get in the way of it growing, as long as you make sure that there's no weeds or there's no anything interfering with it growing, as long as you make sure it has sunlight and make sure it has water and the nutrients that it needs, it's going to grow. And the same goes with your health journey and you're way to getting, so it's late in the day for me. My brain's like, "Doop." In your process of getting healthier, the same can be said. If you're eating foods that are preventing you from moving forward or that are stopping your body from healing, that's going to slow down your healing journey. If you're exposing yourself to lots of chemicals and toxins, that's going to get in the way and slow down your healing journey. So ultimately, think of the seed when you think of health. Think of what it needs to be able to grow strong and grow well. It's the same thing in this journey. So, one of the other clients that I talked to today is someone that was dealing with heartburn for a long time. For 10 years, this person had been on a medication that is supposed to lower stomach acid to get rid of the heartburn. And ultimately, I have a big problem with these. But the thing is, like most of the time when people have heartburn, it's not actually that they have too much stomach acid, which is what is assumed, which is why you're giving a medication to reduce stomach acid. But for most people, the problem is actually that you don't have enough stomach acid. So now we're not making things better, we're making matters worse. Now you're going to have issues breaking down food properly. Now you're not going to have proper digestion. Now you're going to deal with bloating all the time. And that was the biggest transformation that this client saw working with me today. We were a little over 2 months working together. And, today it was the experience of, I actually didn't have bloating this week. It was the most amazing feeling. And again, a lot of the times, the conversation we had was that, okay, so I haven't really recognized for the last couple of weeks because things were gradually getting better. But all of a sudden, this recognition, realization happened that I'm not bloated anymore. That's not a problem anymore. I didn't eat perfect, and it didn't leave me with 2 or a day and a half of being just in horrible discomfort, horribly bloated with terrible heartburn. And this is another situation where things are happening. The body is healing. The body is getting better. It just takes time before you actually start to see things like the results and recognize that, like, wow, things have been getting better for me. So, when you're going through any sort of healing path, this is a challenging thing to do on your own because there are going to be levels and there are going to be layers where you feel amazing. Things move forward exponentially and you feel great. There are also going to be times where things are more challenging. And when you have a coach or a practitioner that's able to, test you and tell you, yes, things are doing well, we're making lots of progress, and remind you of the improvements that you've been having along the way, it can be really helpful. So that's what we do at Align Natural Health. I work with clients. We do a 12-week program. So you join and then you have a check-in call with me every week. We retest you every week to see if the supplements that you're taking are the proper doses. If you're dealing with parasites, I can almost guarantee you that there's going to be adjustments around the full moon and the new moon because they are little brats around those times of the month. And there are other reasons, other stresses, other factors in your life that could result in adjustments being made to your supplement dosing throughout the month. And this is what I recognized when I was working with clients in the past, where I was a nutritionist. And so I would do the traditional nutritionist appointments with people. We'd have one appointment, they'd get all their supplements, I'd give them their dosing and say, okay, I'll see you in 8 weeks. And then in 8 weeks, oh, well, that wasn't really working. Okay, well, let's adjust it for 8 weeks forward from here. And a lot of the times, people would do really well at the beginning. They'd be really consistent, but then they didn't have the support every week. They didn't have the accountability. Some wouldn't even come back. And ultimately, they weren't getting as healthy as they should be and they could be, in my opinion. So now the way that we do it, as I said, it's a 12-week thing. So you see me every week for 12 weeks. It's a 10-minute check-in. We readjust your dosing. This is ultimately what's, in my opinion, what's helped so many of our clients have such incredible results because they have the support, they have the accountability. If they have any questions or need anything along the way, they can always check in with us or move their appointment forward. We can see them more often if necessary. So, if you've been dealing with any health struggles and you've just found that no one has been able to find the reason for you or find the solution that's going to help you get better or that is helping you get better, this is where I can help you. We do an initial consult when we first start working with someone. That's 2 appointments. So you get the first appointment where we go through all of your history. I wanna know everything. This is not like a doctor's appointment where you have 5 minutes and then get out. This is I wanna know, what was your, childhood like? Did you have any injuries, any accidents, any surgeries? If you have kids, what were the pregnancies like? The more I know about you, the more I'm able to really understand what's going on and to be able to really assess you properly. And then after that appointment, I do head to toe testing on you, quantum nutrition testing, which is a virtual form of testing. If you have questions about that, I can explain more about that as well. And then from there, we go through everything that came up on your test and then talk about the next steps. So, if you are dealing with any health struggles and you haven't had any successes or any results and you would like some support, I can help you. I'd be more than happy to help you. I'll drop the link in the comments in Facebook if you want to book an assessment with us or if you have any questions. And if you're in Instagram, grab the link in my bio and let's connect. Let's help you on the path to getting healthier. I am Kate McDowell from Aligned Natural Health, helping you live well naturally.